January 20th. I am Chris Records.
I'm Hifrog.
And yeah, we very early, but we've got our first tournament results for 2019 for Friends Forever.
Yeah, it's like a month after the set came out.
Pretty much, yeah. Normally we'd have to wait until like April or May for the season to really get started, but yeah, we got some wild experimentation out there now.
In Harmony.
In Harmony, indeed. Format that, well, I don't know about you, but I kind of forgot about for a while there.
Yeah, I don't get much chance to play it either. Only like in Heiko.
Pretty much, yeah. But in Vanhoover, which is where this tournament was held, Harmony is still basically what they play. It was kind of a strange thing, but they never really got Sequestria up there, and so they didn't really ever make the switch to core.
I see. That's fair enough, but kind of sad to hear.
It is. It is sad to hear. If you ever want to make a trade with those guys, remember that the Sequestria ones like have a huge premium up there. So
yeah, maybe I should, because I do have a lot of spare Sequestria cards.
Well, there you go. But yeah, it makes it a really interesting environment because they have really seriously kept developing Harmony. And Harmony is, well, it has a bit of a reputation for being something of a well, people say it's all going to be control or combo or whatever, but that's definitely not what we saw with the actual tournament results.
Yeah, it actually was quite far off from what I expected it to be. And to be fair, like, I was commentating with Vigo, and we were both surprised to see what we saw. I mean, Hoof Shaker? That's our peak Harmony experience.
That's true. I was very pleased that I got to essentially do what the deck was supposed to do on stream. As long as the bedtime wasn't out.
Yeah. It was like kind of sad and hilarious at the same time to see like bedtime against your deck, which like completely ruins the idea. It's just one card, and that one person had it on stream.
Yeah. But it was, well, it was a fun match regardless. And her deck was pretty cool and interesting as well for what it did. So the official results only went up yesterday, I think. Relatively late yesterday.
11 hours ago.
Yeah. So, and I believe that's mostly been just because they didn't actually take deck lists for the tournament, so they've been working to get those together. And we still don't have all of them, but we've got enough of them to make a little review of the field. And so, as we always do after tournaments, that's what today's game is going to be about.
Yep. I think we had 12 participants, and the 12th one wasn't on stream. And there's no deck list for it as well, so I have no idea what they played.
Yeah, if I having known Melissa, I really hope I get this right. She's a fan of blue-purple, and just like frightening stuff all the time. So it's usually something in that vein.
No, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
A local who plays that kind of deck.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. So the 11th one is you, so shall we talk about your deck?
Okay, I guess so. So yeah, I haven't come up with a name for this yet, but I assume it has to be some kind of pun on BRB.
Yeah, it has to be. This is what BRB should have been.
Yeah, and this is also, I suppose I should say, kind of a budget list. For the last 2 or 3 years, I've been trading away all my blue and yellow cards. So if there was, now if I had more bunyips, there would be more bunyips in here, basically. And the same would go for Mullet and Dash over there. But yeah, basically, if Hoof Shakers be the main, I wanted stuff that I could bounce back up to my hand and play again for good value. So that's Bunyip, that's Spitfire, another card that I'd put more of if I had in here. If there was going to be control decks around, and I was expecting there to be a lot more control and farming out there than Pirate Fluttershy and Raptor Racer would also be good ones. But yeah, that was the idea. Unfortunately, there was a lot more aggro than I was expecting, so it didn't do as well as I had hoped.
Yeah, but I love the idea. Like, it was confusing to see Hoofshaker at first. Like, that's not the main DC often. I had to actually look her up. Like, what does she do?
Mm-hmm.
At first, like, I thought it was the Celestia that retires the resources because you liked interaction with the flower with it. So I thought maybe that's what you went for. But no.
That would have been an idea, but I decided to go with the good Celestia instead. Sorry, Equestrian Leader.
Yeah. It was pretty fun to look. Like, it's neat. It's neat, kinda like the Lyra deck from Continentals. It's neat in that kind of way, and I love decks like this. I think your deck is probably my favorite deck from the decks I've seen.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. But yeah, that's all that I have to say about it, really. The Jonah Golds, I should say, since those, I believe those that was the card that won me the game on stream, right? Actually weren't as good as I was expecting them to be. Had quite a few games where they were just kind of sitting in my hand and things never quite lined up. I assumed that I was going to have a bunch of tokens everywhere, but not quite to the degree that I was expecting.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Should we get to the next deck?
Sure. So the next deck is our combo. Only combo?
Yeah,
yes.
I think it was the only combo. No one plays in combo in Harmony. What is this? Like, this combo deck wasn't even like a properly combo deck. It was an excuse for someone to play, from what I heard.
Essentially. Colgate had been away from the game for a long time, but combo is like his thing, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
That's
this is a core deck,
him.
Notably. And it's a Harmony deck too, but it's a core deck as well.
Yep, it doesn't have Vapor Trail. So yeah, it's fairly known, I would say, at this point, Cloney combo.
Yeah.
And on stream, we didn't get to see it. Like, he didn't win the game. I think he didn't get his second deep in the pool or something. But his opponent was playing Orange Luna, so that set him back quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know if he actually ever got his combo off during the tournament. Yeah. Because I know he was my last opponent, and I had to drop because I had something else going on. And then, yeah. So over the rest of the game, there was a lot of... I remember one round he made a mistake somewhere in it, and then lost from that. I didn't quite pay attention to everything else.
I see. Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, that's what can happen when you never played some combo and someone just gives the deck to you and you try to play it.
Yeah.
And cloning combo is not like the easiest combo to play around, especially after Friends Forever. Like before Friends Forever it was pretty straightforward. But now it's way less straightforward because there's so many ways you can do a thing. Like on stream, he didn't win because he didn't have the second deep in the pool, but because he had so much AT, he could actually play Singing Barrel to bounce his backup vocals manually instead of cloning it. So yeah.
Right.
But that's like not something you'd think about when you play a deck for the first time.
Well, of course, yeah. Combo studies are a field all its own, really.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's not the last time we'll see this deck.
Probably not. I've heard rumors that it's a real contender in core.
Mm-hmm. Okay, shall we get to the next deck?
Sure enough.
So,
okay, well,
O'Hare's deck is not published, but his deck was a Starlight Orange deck with dragons, I think? It was something like that.
right. The other Starlight deck.
Yeah, the other Starlight deck.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get a chance to see it, but you saw it on stream, so.
yeah, I saw it on stream. It was like our first match was Starlight against Starlight. That was fun. That's the first match we saw on stream. And he didn't really get his dragons going. So yeah, I don't actually remember much of that match, so.
Okay, that's fair.
Hard to say for me anything. So let's get to the next deck.
8th place. This would be the deck that I played against on stream.
Yep. See that bedtime.
Yep. Kind of an interesting mix of orange and yellow. Given that like bedtime is a huge, well, my memory serves. If my memory serves me right, bedtime used to be a control card basically. But changelings as a tribe are aggro, and she's got the Timbles in there, and so she's kind of playing bedtime more as a mid-rangey kind of control-ish element instead, and it worked well enough, I guess.
I mean, with unsatisfactory work, it's just a 1 or 2 ET banish, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And since they're playing, oh wait, it's a Salas. Never mind. Yeah, but they still have some Pegasi, so.
Yeah, and Yona perhaps is the bigger one.
Yeah, and Yona, of course.
Already devastating enough just as a return to hand, but as a banish, that is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the mix, like between it's not full on aggro, but it's not like control it all either. It's again the mid range. Like you can see Spoony. Things like enough things to slow down your opponent, but also enough things to go fast.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that Chrysalis, the changelings in general have a lot of excellent enters play abilities. So it's kind of funny that Chrysalis does very well with a bunch of changelings in your deck.
Yeah.
Plus, of course, she is the another changeling for Timble.
And I mean, you can copy Timble, so it's just pretty much a Timble. And there's some other things you can copy. Like I think copying Ocellus is pretty good.
Yep.
Since you have white for Shobi and yellow for Agile, I think that can be pretty good. And copying like Yona as well. Like there's a lot of friends here that you can copy. And she's a changer. So I guess it makes sense to include her, and since it's Harmony, right? This deck is totally Harmony. Only one Harmony card.
It's pretty harmony. And that's certainly been my experience in the past. That oftentimes harmony is just core decks with identity theft.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of decks are actually that much into harmony cards in harmony. From what I saw, at least.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just goes to show the quality of sets. That I mean, okay, so there were a couple of good cards in like Crystal Games and Absolute Discord, but no, for the most part, they've all been kind of outclassed by the most recent blocks.
Yeah, like many of the harmony cards that I use now are just used because they provide some unique effect that you can't get otherwise, like Destiny Drain or Identity Theft, or like, yeah, or Villains, because we don't get as much Villains.
Not so many anymore, that's for sure.
The last one was Starlight, I think, in Marks and Time.
The last actual villain, yes.
But yeah, in any event, shall we go to the next deck?
Okay, number 7 was the other Starlight deck.
Yep, it's Max's deck. This one has more harmony cards. I count 3.
Let me see here. Destiny Drain. Oh yeah, Gyro and Versa, of course. Kind of a like toolbox control, but without the f-stop. So you have to have multiple copies of your events.
Yeah, I don't remember if he ran f-stop before. I don't think he actually did. Maybe he did. But yeah,
well, the last time I saw this deck in a tournament, it was an aggro deck, actually, I think. And it was just all about running over your opponent with piles of AT.
And, I mean, that's kind of what this deck is also trying to do. You can also take a look at the problem deck, which is all low confront requirements, so you can flip Starlight when you want to.
Alright, that's fair.
Like, there's not a single high confront problem here. And, I mean, it's not an aggro deck, it doesn't make it an aggro deck. Like, I think the reason why the problem deck is like this, so you can flip Starlight when you need to, because that's the point of the main. But other than that, and it's like, I wouldn't call it a control deck either. Like, it's control-ish, but not a control. It's definitely more control than the previous one.
Oh yeah, totally. What with Ursa and the school shutdowns. Coriander, I think, is new to this version. It's interesting. There's a lot of... Well, I was going to say there's a lot of unicorns, but not really, actually. There's only 2.
Yeah.
No, 3.
3, yeah.
Actually, more Earth Pony synergy than Unicorn synergy. Well,
orange.
Yeah.
So yeah, on stream what was happening with this deck against the other Starlight deck is that O'Hare has, like, I think the dragon is called Caldera, which is pay 1 to frighten, and he got 2 of them. And Max got 2 limestones, so he was disabling Calderas.
Right.
Otherwise his limestones would be frightened. And, like, this battle will beat who can keep up their disabling the longest.
Indeed. Yeah, limestone. That card didn't go anywhere, did it?
Which card?
Limestone. I mean, that's just, like, still a card people ought to pay attention to. Yeah. All in all, did you ever see the school shutdown get played, or like?
No, I think we saw it either flipped or in hand, but not actually played. No.
Right, because by the sounds of it, he was ahead, right?
Yeah, he was mostly ahead.
Okay.
And like, we didn't see a single harmony card even in the game. Like, only at the very end we saw Destiny Drain, either in hand or flipped, I don't remember. So that was basically core match. That was
Right,
fun.
yeah.
So, either way, shall we go to the next deck?
Alrighty.
It's a Orange Luna Reanimator deck.
Yeah. Now this is definitely a Harmony deck. Or, well, actually,
Is it?
I said, I mean, there's actually not as many Harmony cards in here as I was expecting there to be. Just the three of them.
I think it's Nightmare Moon, Discord Pile, and Cadence. That's all I see.
And the main.
Oh yeah, in the main, of course.
So that's 4. Yeah. Yeah, Discord Pile's cool. It's one of those cards that I feel like honestly should have seen play back in Harmony, but no one else ever really looked at it.
And they actually used it on stream with quite a success.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, we both missed Last of Champion as well as a Harmony card.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So well, to be fair, he was playing against Colgate, so it was like a kind of one-sided match where he tried to disrupt Colgate as much as possible. I think he used his Luna twice, which slowed Colgate down quite a bit. Because at one point he just like threw away half of his combo pieces off with Luna. So yeah, Luna can be quite disruptive, that's my point here. But other than that, it was a pretty one-sided match on stream.
Yeah. Well, that does sound basically correct. For anyone who is trying to build up a bunch of pieces in their hand, yeah, then it's basically as hard of a counter to that as you can get. So that kind of makes sense. Although clearly, him finishing up 6th place here, he definitely had success with it elsewhere. But yeah, this is basically as Reanimator as it gets. Orange-white, and he's got all the right tools to put stuff into his discard pile. The normal early discards of Apple Bloom and Smolder and Sandbar, Orchard Blossom, and Sweetie Belle. And then the rest is just stuff that you want to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Even, well, even old money, interestingly enough. I mean, you see her, for the most part, these days, getting portaled and replayed, etc. There isn't even a portal in this deck, though.
No, I think you just like she's here just like Evil Twin.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just get her back from the discard pile when you really want to remove something. But Evil Twin just removes a friend, and Old Money is quite versatile in that sense. Because there's not a lot of resource removal here.
It's true. Actually, looking. Is it just her?
Now there's also special beam cannon.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yep.
But yeah,
So
other than that, I don't think there's anything here.
Just 2 cards. But yeah, definitely. Well, he's got enough giant things that that discard pile is almost certain to present your opponent a choice of amazing possibilities. No matter what they choose, you're getting something good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing extra special with the problem deck, I guess. just solid stuff.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about
That cadence is
increasing the
interesting,
height.
though. I think this is probably the first list I've ever seen with this cadence in it, or at least the first list I've seen published.
That's another card I had to look up actually, because I didn't remember what she does. I remember the art, but that's all I remembered about this card. But I think it's nice here. Like, it's a huge friend which you can reanimate, and it's good against farm. It's a Rimaspy, but on a friend with 4 power.
Yep.
Okay, next thing?
Sure. On to our top 5.
Yeah, that's Sokol's list.
Yep. I don't think there's
No harmony cards.
No harmony and no new cards either. So basically last year's combo deck, or aggro, or whatever you want to call it. But
I'm still convinced that this is aggro.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, if I were to be honest, this is a deck that I was considering playing because it's gonna be able to do what it wants to do, basically, no matter what the rest of the meta does. Like, you're just gonna score points, and while everybody else is thinking of what to do about troublemakers and how to start face-offs or whatever, I'm just gonna flip my main and score some points and do it again, etc.
Like, having an alternative way to score points is really nice, because like this deck can burst through some points real quick if it gets the right cards, which can be really good.
You don't really have to care about winning face-offs because you just want to confront a problem so that you can use Pirate Rarity. If a face-off does start, your flip average is actually pretty impressive, but with all the troublemakers and resources and stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember how he played against it on stream. I think it was against GP, which played the Paradox Pony deck. And I think the match basically came down to if Sokol can burst a couple of points until the time limit or not. It's hard to remember. It was a week ago, but I don't remember anything already.
That's fine. The Grandpa's is here in the chat, I think. So if you miss any details, we'll remind you, maybe.
But yeah, it's a list we've seen before. And
basically,
since Sokol participates in tournaments quite often, I think this is not the last time we're going to see.
Probably, yeah. Maybe with some refinements next time, if there's anything from Friends Forever that goes in here. I don't know. It's a pretty well-tuned list.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any Friends Forever cards that really help this strategy. Not in blue-white, at least.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to go to your Royal Archive or whatever and search up blue-white cards that have the word point on them in Friends Forever, and I don't think there's going to be any of them.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't think. Did we get any cards that have point in them? Oh yeah, Gallows, right?
Gallows.
We got Gallows.
And Timble as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. How could I forget about Timble? Okay, should we get to the next list?
Alrighty. Speaking of Grandpa's list.
Yeah, I see some Harmony cards. I think that's the only Harmony problem we have. Oh no, never mind. The farming deck also runs them.
Yeah.
But this is the first Harmony problem we see here.
Oh, you're right. Grandpa's in the chat. We forgot about Miss Main too. Has a card that has the word point in it.
All right.
That's a pretty glaring oversight.
Yep. It's like missing Sweetie Belle from Marks and Time. Can't miss her.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, most harmony list of the tournament, I think. Grandpa's here.
I think nothing can really beat the farming deck in that.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Second most then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6. How many cards? Oh, okay, count the main 7 or something like that.
Yeah. If we don't count the farm, this is probably the most harmony deck.
Yeah.
Because the next list is the mono yellow. It doesn't have much harmony in it, if at all. So in either event, this is a very fun deck. I actually had the chance to play it before Vanhoover against my friend to see like how it works or not. And like I did it before we had a stream on Paradox Pony.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we saw this deck on stream both times, and the first time that Wild was flipped very early, I think turn 2 or something like that. So that was fun. And so yeah, I remember now. So basically what happened at the start of the game is that Sokol flipped his main. So GP got 380. And so GP went first, got 280, then Sokol flipped his main, then GP got 380, and I actually don't remember how he flipped it. Never mind, I don't remember it. But I remember he created Changeling and then played backup vocals.
Yeah, he's getting backup vocals. He's doing it by a backup vocal somehow.
Yeah, but it was turn 2. I remember it was turn 2. Nope, he says no. It was really early, either way. He went first. Okay, fair enough.
First, so he flips. Oh yeah, because then then he has
680. Yeah,
then it's easy. Yeah.
So yeah, that was quite devastating, if you could tell.
Well, yeah, this deck basically once Twilight gets online, then you're just set. Off the races, whatever. Doesn't matter what you got in your hand, you just go.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sokol actually had a little nice counterplay, which is Tempest. He could flip that Violet back. Since GP flipped her very early, she had like only 2 counters on her.
Good point,
yeah, if he flipped her back, that would slow it a little bit. But I think like at the point in the game, I think he got only 1 Tempest, and he used that to flip his own main, which made sense at the time he was doing it. So yeah. And yeah, I'm still unconvinced that, sorry GP, but I'm not very convinced on Paradox Pony against aggro when it's not getting flipped like turn 1, turn 2.
Right.
Because she can just flip so late. But yeah, I guess it's still consistent enough.
More data is required.
Yeah. The fun thing about this deck is that we saw it twice on stream. So first one was against Sokol, and both me and Beagle expected like Sokol to win, and he didn't. And then we saw it against Farm, and we expected Paradox Pony to win, but no, Farm won. Which was also an interesting result, especially like we got the game like on stream when it was already turn 3 or something, and it seemed like the game is over for Farm.
Right.
But then Big Cheese got double Trixie, and that changed some things.
Sorry, Trixie Villain?
Yeah.
Right.
You see, when your friends have good interplay abilities and Trixie disables them, they're not as useful anymore.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see that. Like, you know, this deck can interfere with, like, everything except farming to some greater or lesser degree. I mean, you can cycle Meadowbrook, maybe. But even that doesn't really
Yeah, because it's
help
not
as much.
immediate. Yeah.
If he's, you know, the troublemaker flips and he fights it. yeah, there's no window where you can get rid of it in time.
Yeah, there's not actually much immediate stuff here. Like only Portal and Mysterious Disappearance. I think that's it. Everything else is main phase.
Right. And with that EEA council, why not, right?
Yeah. Well, you still want some interaction on your opponent's turn, especially against Fawn.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, actually. Paradox Pony is the card that can have council in play only on your turn. And then for the opponent's turn, it goes away, so you can play your immediates again. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool, but 3ET each turn is
Yeah.
a bit too much.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun interaction. I did not think of that. But you usually play EA. So
Anyway.
do you have any more comments?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, I actually have one question to GP, or maybe you know the answer. I don't get Fired and Ready here.
Well, Fire When Ready has historically been a tool that you put in for certain like counter control matchups, because it is a like if you manage to replace into it or something, and then you can replace the other problem if you need to. But Grandpa's is maybe the better person to answer, because that was high level play at a time when I wasn't playing a particularly high level game. Okay.
The answer is one more problem was required, so why not put something that disrupts farm? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I always saw Fire and Ready like if you don't use it.
That's true. It is a farming tool.
Yeah, I always saw Fire and Ready if you don't use it to score 5 points as a like problem thing, because it's really easy to replaces itself. So you might as well just like it's like having 9 problems or 8 problems in your deck, because Fire and Ready just replaces itself quite easily. Okay.
All right.
To the next list we go.
Oh, we did actually get Curtis's list in time. I didn't. This one was not available when the post first went up, so I didn't get the chance to see it.
The mono yellow one?
Oh, sorry. We are at.
Oh, it's Curtis. Yeah, I missed the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the deck we didn't get to see on stream because it has one glaring weakness. Can you spot it?
Sorry, give me a second. I assume you mean that it's got a banned card in it?
Does it? Which one?
Okay, no.
No, it doesn't have any.
I assume you said it's got one big glaring weakness. I assume that's what you meant.
No, I mean the weakness here is the only blue entry in this deck is 1 Trading Traditions. That's it.
Oh.
There's not a single way to get blue color in this deck. Which is why the game on stream was over, like, on second turn.
Oh, I see. Right. And yeah, you got third place with it. So clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean he was on stream, but the game ended too fast? Sorry, I assumed that he wasn't on stream. There's something. Okay, whatever.
No. He was on stream for like 5 minutes. Yeah, because I actually really wanted to see like a blue-pink deck. And I was kind of sad that we're not going to, because the game was just over immediately.
Right. Well, yeah, if I remember properly, because I did watch some of the stream, you and Bugle were basically almost playing the game of trying to predict when DJ would show up next.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, and that's when she shows up and leaves immediately. than that, it's pink-blue aggro.
Yep. Very, I mean, it's not exactly a canonical Hot Wings list. There's a bunch of things that are different, like this Lyra and Bonbon here. Although I remember having seen that used sometimes on lists of the era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a bit more of a movement focus, well, with the wildfires and that, and well, maybe that's it. Oh no, there's a Call in the Dream Cavalries as well.
Changing can change as well.
Oh yeah, that moves
also
up
can
too.
move a thing, but usually I only saw it used to reduce the cost. But it can move a thing if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Grandpaus points out that he ran this exact list since Dewey. You can see there's not a single Sequestria or Friends Forever card here, which is a good point. Should probably get some loyal ponies in here, I don't know.
Yeah, something blue. Yeah, there's been some cards that help with that whole trading commissions thing.
Maybe he did not expect it, like...
Too. Probably a good call. Although, once again, he did get third place. I mean, I shouldn't complain about it too much.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But, I mean, to be fair, the other decks in the tournament weren't that blazingly fast. Like, they couldn't do a double face-off on the second turn. Or if they could, some magical Christmas miracle happened. Which actually happened on stream. Like, the way Ara did the double face-off was some miracle. It was like, first turn he moves Fluttershy to Conserving Cutie Marks and puts 2 Gummies into play. And then he plays Bunny to Trading Traditions and uses Defend the Hive to move Fluttershy for a double face-off. That was disgusting.
Wow, double face-off with the extra points.
Yes.
Double. Okay, I haven't actually had the chance to see that game yet. I should. Sounds like A, it won't take too much time, and B, it sounds cool.
Yes, exactly. It didn't take much time.
But yeah, it's blue pink aggro. Still good. Or pink blue aggro rather.
Yeah, still pretty good. It'd be nice to see blue pink with new cards though, like Griffins. We have some Griffins. They're nice. But I guess that's for core, and we're having Harmony here. Okay, speaking of Ara, should we get to his list?
Sure. Well, he was running mono yellow then.
Yep.
I don't think I ever actually saw it. But yeah, this is mono yellow. Welcome to core.
I remember when I started playing, everyone was complaining that yellow is the weakest color. Now things can change in a couple of sets.
Yeah. Well, it was like there's something that actually can be said because I think I'm looking here. Oh, there's no magic cards in there. Okay, but like there's some yellow here from almost every core set, right? There's a little bit of Odysseys, a little bit, like I said, no high magic. Although maybe there's a high magic problem. No, okay, no high magic, but a little bit of Marks, a little bit of Defenders, a little bit of Sequestria, a little bit of Friends Forever. Like the color has just been slowly getting pushed for the last like 3 or 4 years, and people have finally just, all right, color's great now. I mean, I feel like yellow has probably been good for the last little while. People only cottoned onto it with this set because Meadowbrook and Yona are just insane.
Yeah, but as someone would say, this is not a mono yellow deck. Blue Fairy says that mono yellow decks that run alloy are not a true mono yellow decks, which is, I guess, a fair point. She's not a yellow card.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, didn't get to see that much on stream. I only saw some disgusting things happening. Can only imagine what was happening in other games.
Yeah, Grandpa's makes a pretty good point that Aloe is essentially colorless.
She's not colorless, she has white. All cards are colorless except friends and mains, and she's actually white.
Well, there you go. I don't know.
It's okay, GP. I will fight you after this. We'll see who wins. We have a Coco match, so.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, it's stuff that, yeah, like I say, it's just kind of been accumulating for a long time. This is notably one of those decks that, on the one hand, does not probably win that many face-offs because you got Fluttershy, you got Marble, etc. Like most of a lot of your confront power is going to be not contributing to face-offs. Yet at the same time, we've got Spooky Ruins, and our flip average is actually not terrible. So it's not the kind of deck that you just throw a Novo in either.
Yeah, but the thing is, Yellow has Bunyips, which is a great point acceleration, so it doesn't actually need to win that many face-offs. And if you go...
Sorry, I didn't catch that whole question.
Okay, so I was talking that you also have Bunyips, which is a great point acceleration. So in Yellow you don't actually need to win that many face-offs. There's also Yona that you can put some power away when she confronts. So, like, I don't think it's too hard to win face-offs here, and even if you sometimes don't, it's fine. Because of Bunyip and other things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, certainly. Like Yellow is... I don't know if I ever played... Well, I'm pretty sure I played against some decks at some point. Maybe it was just in a practice game before the tournament. But that's like one of Yellow's most frustrating things about it right now, is that yes, you can confront a problem and score like 3 points, and the opponent can't face off you back because you're not, confronting according to the traditional ways. And so, yeah, Yellow, like, normally they'd confront one problem and then you'd start to face off and you'd get somewhere out of it. But Yellow can afford to play quietly, as it were, and not start any fights and still win.
Well, playing quietly sounds like Fluttershy way anyway.
I know.
But the thing is, like, even though you're not actually confronting, it sometimes hits you back when you want to confront just one problem, and that will probably start a single face-off that you will lose. So, like, it's a double-edged sword, at least from my experience with playing with Nurturing Nature. Because, like, oh great, I can confront that problem. Like, imagine anxious animals with Staff of Sacanas. Yeah, you could confront that problem for free now. But if your opponent also confronts it, now you are worried because they're going to get 2 bonus points. Because you will have 0 power at that face-off.
True. Which I suppose is why this deck actually runs a relatively low bonus point curve.
Yeah.
Especially for an aggro deck.
Yeah. But yeah, Nurturing Nature, I think it's also because of Nurturing Nature, because she can do wonders on low confront requirements. You basically confront one problem for free. Like, look at all this, they have 4 maximum. Which means it's any friend like Vanhoover and Nurturing Nature, and you can confront a problem.
That's actually a really good point. 4 maximum is so... I think Yellow is the only color in the game that can do that right now.
Well, we got... yeah, I think so. In core, at least.
Yeah.
Even though this is Harmony tournament. So yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go to the next list?
To the winner? Cheese's farming deck?
Indeed.
I mean, no. This is Cheese's farming deck. It is a very non-traditional list.
Is it? I'm actually not too familiar with traditional farming lists.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I was forgetting Night for Night. So yes, blue can do 4 all the time as well. But yes, the inclusion of the single rescue party here, as well as I believe the 2 element of honesties. It's got too many friends in it. It is not the correct harmony farming list. And I say that as a Vanhoover person myself.
Okay, that's fair. I know, I like Rescue Party in the farming deck. Because it can farm troublemakers really well on its own. So it's basically second in J. In that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just double the farming output. Like, yeah, the problem is it's a friend, but it's not that big of a deal because you still have your AJ.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a great point from Grandpa's up there. If Applejack as the tech against fireworks.
Oh, I see. Well, as I said, like on our previous stream, I wouldn't expect anyone to play Fireworks in this tournament if it wasn't Beagle, and it wasn't Beagle, so I think I was right on that. No one did play Fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know why, I just don't feel like anyone would play Fireworks except for Beagle.
No, I think if someone told me, and I wasn't there, but if someone told me at the con, oh, someone played Fireworks, I would have assumed that it was Bugle too.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, the orange farming deck is still doing what it does. Still, how many troublemakers are we looking at? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16? I'm counting here.
Yeah. $16 sounds right.
It's still more than any other archetype has ever done.
Oh, that makes sense. I actually see those 2 Trixies, and like he pulled both of them against GP.
Mm-hmm.
It was some luck. So yeah, other than many friends, I guess this is just a farming deck. It farms.
Pretty much. There's a long held tradition of this particular style in Vancouver and kind of on the West Coast. Well, kind of the Northwest in general. That you can kind of see. I mean, I was absolutely expecting a little bit more of this, honestly, when going to the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of the reason why I put so much anti-troublemaker in my deck, but
yeah, I was kind of surprised to see only one.
Not entirely unexpected to see it win, that's for sure.
Yeah. Apparently farming is still good. Or rather, AJ is still good. Even when she's banned in core, she can still do some terror in harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think that shows the power of the farming, because as you said, you were expecting farming. A lot of other people were also obviously expecting farming, and like we saw some Ursa Vanquisher in a couple of deck lists. And even though everyone had like the meta of farming in mind, the farming deck still won, which is, I think, the interesting bit. Hello?
Sorry, lost track of you there for a second.
Okay. I just said that it's interesting, like, even though everyone has like farming in mind, the farming still won.
Well, that's been true for years, but yeah.
Yeah, like, I think that just shows the power level of the deck, of the orange farming.
Yeah. And a good reminder of why we're thankful that this doesn't exist in core.
Oh yeah. Now I don't have to dedicate as much slots against epics as I used to. And everyone thought core farming will be dead in Harmony. I mean, not in Harmony, in core. But it just can't die, because farming will be dead in core. No, someone plays EJ and wins everything with it. And then we ban EJ. But no, someone brings Rainbow Dash and wins with it.
It's true. Like, no one, at least I hope, I never had a beef with farming in general. The archetype should exist.
Yeah, I agree. I really like that this exists. Like, I think it's great to have like quite an unusual way to go to the victory. I like that.
Just this innocent little pony up here with the hat. She's the problem.
It's just Diligent too. What can go wrong?
Yep.
And I mean, outside of farming, I guess she's strong, but she's like more fair. I don't know, like we have Thorax. He's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's Vanhoover. That's the whole field. So far as I'm aware, well, obviously we don't know what kind of tournaments are going to be run at the rest of the cons this year, but I assume most of them are going to be core, at least for their headlining events. So this is probably going to be the last Harmony thing we see for a while.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's possible. We'll see. But I believe I said this to people at the tournament itself. It's good, because Harmony is still a format that is happening and has a fair amount of variety to it, as we see. It's good that we have at least one event on the calendar that's the Harmony event. That's the one that tells us what this format's doing.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, to be fair, as far as we can see here, Harmony is not that much different from core, except we have farm and Paradox Pony.
That is a good point. That is a good point. And we have Celestia mains. That's why I will never abandon the format.
That's fair. We could use some more Celestia mains.
We could.
We could also use some more Trixie mains.
But anyway, that about brings us to the end of our planned content here today. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Okay. So, as per usual, thank you all for coming out and supporting us and watching us. If you know anybody who wanted to make it out here but couldn't, consider directing them to our YouTube channel. The link is in the Reddit post that announced it. In fact, I'll just whoopsies. Hang on a second. That is not our YouTube. I'm going to find our YouTube link. Almost posted the YouTube link from this Reddit post here. Okay, there we go. So there you go. There is our YouTube right down there in the chat. This stream's going to be going up probably in a couple of hours or so. And we've got everything else that we've ever done on there as well. So, yeah. But until, well, yeah, besides that, we'll be having another stream on here 2 weeks from now, as per usual. Until then, I've been Chris, of course.
I've been Hifrock.
And we'll see you in a fortnight.
Bye.